think we good to go now. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. This is episode 58. Oh my God. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild, and I'm joined with my brother from another mother. Blood couldn't make us any closer. One of the best photographers in the world, co-host of the show, my brother Santana. Say something to the people.
Yo, what's good? What's good, y'all? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We got a packed show as always on this fine Thursday's night. Let's get it in. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get it popping. Pause. All right, so let's start this thing off right. All right, popular opinions. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records, as y'all see it up there. Make sure you could go to Instagram right now and at OUV Records. The label motto is create, document, and inspire. Stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. Shout out to our day ones already in the building. Rowan Jack, what's goody? What's popping? Winter Breeze in the building. King Prince and Culture Talk. Some of our day ones in the building already. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. All right, first question of the night. Who had the funniest performance in the movie 40-year-old Virgin? Number one, Steve Carell that plays Andy. Number two, Paul Rudd that plays Dave. Three, Seth Rogen that plays Cal. Four, Romney Malco that plays Jay. And please put your answers in the chat as well. You know we love that love. Again, hit that like and subscribe button, but we love that love. So try to interact in the chat. No, do interact in the chat. My bad. Yeah, go ahead. My bad, bro. Had to get out that way.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go with main character Steve Carell's. You know what I'm
Why?
saying?
Tell me why.
This is just the main character. You know what I'm saying? He was the funniest one. He was the one that was the virgin. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Any scenes, any particular scene that stood out for you the most? That just like, yo, that's the one right there.
Nah, with Steve Carell, it was just really the whole movie. You know what I'm saying? It's not one particular scene that really stands out the most because it's just how his demeanor was with every scene. You know what I'm saying? How he was able to stay in character and not like, you know what I'm saying, like laugh or smirk or turn away to just catch himself. But yeah, Steve Carell.
Mm-hmm. Uh, they said it in the chat. The chest wax scene was hilarious. Where they made his stomach. It was so funny. The dude said his stomach like a man or lantern. So yeah. But me, I'm gonna go with somebody different. I'm going with Jay. Because Jay had all the isms in the movie where he was like, yo, you see that chick over there with the da 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 this, that, and the third, and he turned to say, he's like, yo, what you doing? He was like, yo, you gotta use your peripheral. And then, so it was scenes like that for me that I gotta go with Jay. The scenes with him and his girl, obviously the scene with him and Kevin Hart, where he's talking about, fire off. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we'll both bash you what? Like we both rep the same smart tech, you know what I'm saying? So and I was in the running for people that know that was in the running for being one of the name of the show, repping the same smart tech. But that scene alone was funny as hell. But to me, Jay had so many hilarious scenes in that movie. They saying Steve, they saying Seth Rogen. Oh, Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen is overrated. Steve. So they going with Steve in the chat. I'm seeing Cal in the chat as well. Cal was stupid. I thought his character was stupid, but a good addition. I went with Jay's character. Again, you went with Steve's character, Andy's characters. The rest of the world, surprisingly, at 31% went with Paul Rudd's character as Dave.
Okay.
He has some really funny scenes. He has some real funny scenes. But I thought obviously different. You thought different as well. All right, moving on to the next segment. And before the next question. And before I go on, that movie will forever be a classic. It's a classic. If you watched it recently, it's probably even funnier now because when you was younger, like you got the jokes, but like the totality of that grown man and being in that situation and living life a little bit, it changes the whole energy when you're watching it now. So, I don't know if you feel the same way.
I ain't seen it in a while though.
Okay, okay. All right, so moving on to the next question. Best NYC anthem on this list. Best NYC anthem on this list. Number one, Mobb Deep, Shook Ones, Part Two. Number two, DMX, Rough Riders anthem. Number three, Peter Guns, Lord Tariq, Deja Vu. Number four, Ja Rule, Fat Joe, Jada Kiss, New York.
Mm, I might have to go with Shook One's Mob Deep. It was just too gritty and too street. You know what I'm saying, when it first came out.
Mm-hmm. And you just feel like that represents the whole style of just how New York City just what I'm saying like is or whatever.
Oh no, facts.
Okay, okay. Can't be mad at that. Can't be mad at that. Um, my bad. Can't be mad at that. So I see DMX Rough Riders in the chat. I'm seeing Mobb Deep in the chat. Uh, Me personally, I gotta go with Rough Riders. I'm not gonna hold you. If you was to ask me this question in the 8th grade, I probably would have said Deja Vu. But I'm gonna have to go with Rough Riders anthem. For me personally, I gotta go with Rough Riders anthem. Even though that New York joint with Ja Rule, Fat Joe, and Jada Kiss was fire, and then Jada like just killed that song. I want to use that one as well. De La Soul is dead. Okay, shout out to you. Hit that like button. Haven't seen one in a week. So I'm like, okay. All right, so the rest of the world went with DMX Rough Riders anthem at 45%. At 45%. Can't be mad at that. All these songs slap in New York City. All these songs, y'all. So no matter what you think, any party that you go to in New York City, if you hear any of these songs, they're going to slap. Again, these songs are My Deep Shook Ones, Part Two, DMX Rough Riders Anthem, Peter Guns, Lord Tariq, Deja Vu, and Ja Rule, Fat Joe, Jadakiss, New York song. All these songs slap in New York. So those are some tough anthems. And again, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. All right, next question. Craziest hairline in the game right now. Craziest hairline in the game right now. Number one, LeBron James. Number two, Stephen A. Smith. Number four, Mace. And I'm sorry, number three, Mace. And number four, Charleston White.
Nah, Stephen A. Smith hairline is fucked up, my nigga. That nigga need to just go bald or lower the fade or something. That's just horrendous.
It's
Nigga,
crazy.
nigga got high, um, nigga got high back fro. You know what I'm saying? The joint is just back here. You know what I'm saying?
You got the six head.
You got the
Pause.
the he has movies instead of dreams and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, oh man, what they say that they for me because all these headlines is crazy, and I didn't want to put Mace in this category, but it's about that time to come on home. Pause. Like the same goes for the rest of these brothers on this list. It's time to cut that. You know what I'm saying? It's looking crazy out here, but. I'm gonna have to go with LeBron James, bro. That like his joint is just not bald. It's like hella thin. So it got like it's like the grass is like thick pores in the middle, but then like right before the game, it looks smooth because it blends. But then
Mhm.
when that sweat start hitting that forehead and that front here, it just evaporates, bro. I that look crazy. he got the landing strip plus like some other stuff going on like right here, like not to diss LeBron James, but damn, that shit look crazy to me. So my vote is LeBron James. I'm going with LeBron James. In the chat, they saying Jada Pinkett Smith, y'all are dirty, all right? Y'all are dirty. That was dirty. That was dirty. They going with Jada Pinkett Smith. She's not even on this list, but y'all grind me for that. I went with LeBron James. My brother went with Stephen A. Smith. The rest of the world agree with you and went with Stephen A. Smith at 56%.
Everybody,
50.
it's just fucked up.
Yo,
That's
crazy.
high.
And it's so funny. He talks the most shit. He talks the most shit, and his shit be crazy. It's about time. Yo, Stephen A., if you see this, you gotta cut that, bro. You gotta cut that. Just bring it on home and just cut that. Just rock a baldy. You feel
Mhm.
me? That's it. It's over. You can't do nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? That is just it's about that time. You know what I'm saying? It's about that time. All right, moving on to the next question. They laughing at us in the chat. All right, so best movie on this list, the very best movie on this list. Number one, Braveheart. Number two, The Postman. Number three, The Last of the Mohicans. Number four, Man in the Iron Mask.
Mm.
All these are fire movies, by the way.
Oof.
One of these movies got somebody I can't stand because of personal comment that they made, but it's still a fire movie. I don't want to sway y'all out there because of how I feel about this particular person.
I'm probably gonna fuck with Men in the Iron Mask only because of the intriguing story it has, and it's one of the few films on that list that I could rewatch again. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and Leonardo, and it wasn't like top tier Leonardo work, but he put in top tier work on that joint. You know what I'm saying?
He's playing two characters.
That's what I'm saying.
He's playing two characters, and he did a damn good job. I really enjoy watching Man in the Iron Mask. I could, like you said, I could rewatch that. Braveheart is a tough movie. The Last of the Mohicans is probably the most underrated out on this list. Me personally, I'm gonna go with The Postman. I rewatched The Postman probably I would say about a month ago or a month and a half ago, and I really forgot how lit it was. Like that movie was so fire. How like when he came to the village and he became the postman just so he could survive. Like it wasn't on some like I'm walking tall, like you know what I'm saying. He was just on some finesse. He was like the finesse of all finesse men. And then one of the dudes peeped it like you ain't no postman, nigga. Like stop fronting. And then the girl was like, yo, all up on him, like, yo, you got good genes, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, get them kids up out of you, pause. And then her husband is in the corner, like, yeah, it's cool. Like, you like what you mean it's cool? Like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? I can't get her pregnant. So, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna say the postman. Again, you went with the Man in the Iron Mask. In the chat, they go. I'm seeing Braveheart, Iron Mask, Postman. I'm seeing a mixture of all. Um, the rest of the world went with Iron Mask at 38%. At 38%. Tough movie. Tough movie. Leonardo DiCaprio was a supreme scumbag when he plays the bad king and how he wanted the chick so bad. She already had a husband. He's like, nah, you going to war, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna send you to the war. Then we're gonna put you on the front lines, knowing he ain't ready for the front lines.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Had that man with a whole sword going up against cannonballs, pause. Like, you know what I'm saying? So crazy. And then just rape this chick. Like, it wasn't like he smoothed her, he hit her with the charisma. Nah, just straight rape. Like, that dude was a complete, like, he rivals. Nah. I was gonna say the kid, he was probably as bad as the kid in Game of Thrones, but the young king was worse. the Young King was worse than the Game of Thrones. I forget that character name, that particular kid that played the king.
Yeah.
I forget his name though, but that's somebody I wanted to see die. That's going to be a question moving forward. All right, moving on to the next segment, y'all. The next segment is that father and son, chaos. Okay. Uh, moving on to our next segment. Hollywood needs to ask us. We brought up this segment, or we made up this segment because there was a lot of trash movies in Hollywood. It's getting a little bit better, but they need new ideas. I'm tired of seeing the same movies, them remaking the same garbage movies. So we came up with this segment. So you want to start this off, or you want me to go?
Nah, you could go ahead.
All right. I don't know if you had said this one, but for some reason I seen something earlier. I was like, yo, that would be dope because we don't really know much about him, to be honest with you. We need a hip hop Big L biopic. I think that would be so fire because there's so many different things about Big L that we hear, about his artistry that's, fire. But then on the personal side, we hear the not so good things. So it's like that good versus evil. And when you have mixed reviews, that makes for an interesting storyline about somebody who is so prevalent. So I would love to see a Big L biopic movie. Um, I don't know who will play Big L. The person that kind of looks like Big L is a kid that plays the RZA on the Wu-Tang series. He kind of looks like him a little bit, but I don't know if he could pull that off, to be honest with you. He didn't do such a great job as the RZA, in my opinion. Not from the acting standpoint, but from the dialect standpoint. Like the way he talked, it was a little over the top. So but I would love to see a Big L movie of all the hip hoppers from obviously from Harlem, revere him. But there's also mixed stories on how he moved, and I would love to see his story, especially the fact that we don't know much about Big L.
Right. No,
So
that's a fact.
so that's the movie I would want to see. They saying Terry Crews could play Big L. Yo, Rowan, don't start tonight. All right, do not start. Do not start. All right, yeah. So that's my movie. That's my movie.
Hollywood needs to make I think I'd like to see it in a documentary type series, but I need to see the when gunpowder slash guns was invented. You know what I'm saying? How did gunpowder even come into fruition? What tribe came up with it? How they did it? You know what I'm saying? And then from then, gunpowder to what we know as ammunition, guns, to what we have now as firearms and stuff. So I would love to see the historical aspect of how gunpowder became guns to firearms to what we have today. I think it would be very interesting to see how that would come about, where it started, and see how far it's come since then. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Anybody that you would want to that has the look that you think that could carry the story along, or just by the way they talk.
I don't think there's a specific person per se that could play because I'm pretty sure there's a multitude of people throughout a span of many centuries that probably put little tidbits into it to formulate and make gunpowder better over the centuries to what it is today. So I don't think like one particular person can play one character because I don't know what character, you know what I'm saying? I don't know
Yeah.
he, she, Moon, or whoever the one was the nigga that put the, you know what I mean, the
Hmm.
little last ingredient in there to get gunpowder right. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I feel like Hollywood could placate with a bunch of different people to play this. You know what I'm saying? Because it spans around a bunch of different countries, different backgrounds, different ideologies, and stuff like that. So to see how it was birthed into what it is when it first came out to what it is now, and see how it transitioned from the time of the beginning to where it is today and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm. It's interesting. With all these transitions from you know how guns are made, but just how we live in life. Like we went from gas to electric. We went from like we in different phases. So can you imagine a place and time where guns is like electric somehow, some way?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like damn near completely electric where
Right.
it stun you, but it won't kill you. You know what I'm saying? It won't be a stun gun. It will be a bullet that's, you know what I'm saying, that absorbs you, but you know what I'm saying, it will zap you and you'll shut you down instead of actually murdering you. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be surprised if we seen some variation of that in the future. You know what I'm saying? So because when it's time to rap, I got some stuff to unload, pause, that is going to freak you out. So that's why when you said that, I'm thinking ahead of the game to like, yo, what if one day they even took it a step farther and had electric bullets? You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it honestly, the world we live in is not far fetched, and I wouldn't be surprised that they already have the technology and they just waiting for the right movie to, you know, plug that in, like the movie writer was that lit that he thought of electric bullets. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that's just
Yep.
something I the top of my dome. Pause. You know, so that's interesting. That's interesting. All right, so great ideas, great ideas. Again, if y'all see these ideas anywhere else, let us know because they owe us a check. You know what I'm saying? They owe us a check.
I'm
That's
correct.
get the pockets right. You know what I'm saying? Get the
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? All right, so moving on. Make sure y'all hit patreon.com. Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast and tune into exclusive merchandise. So make sure you hit that now. And again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend right now. We in here live. All right, now we're moving on to our must see segment, y'all. Must see movies, must see show, and must hear music. You want to start this one off?
Chat, y'all know how I do. I'm always have my themes. So this week never changes. So this theme today is disaster movies, but specifically when government fails and society just crumbles. So you start to see in these particular movies how society tries to deal with an epidemic and how they try to grasp control of the population and do certain things to try to keep their control consolidated. So all three of these movies showcases how society falls and a new society comes up to try to combat and try to live with the new ever facing change of how they are living today. So the first movie on this list on disaster movies is Contagion. Came out in 2011. Very, very interesting movie because it portrayed basically how COVID was going to be. Again, it came out in 2011, so definitely a good watch. If you haven't seen it, since we already went through COVID, it'll be interesting to go watch it with newfound eyes. So it stars Matt Damon, Jude Law, Kate Winslet, Lawrence Fishburne, Gwyneth Paltrow. What is this? Marif Courtland, Jennifer Ely, Bryan Cranston, Sanaa Lathan, Dimitri Martin, Elliot Gould, and John Hawkes. It's about an outbreak. Basically, it showcases how the outbreak starts to finish and how society deals with this specific outbreak. But what's interesting is how the outbreak occurs, where it occurs, and how it transfers from one person to the next. Very good movie. Definitely check it out. Got your eyes wide open. Next movie on this list is World War Z, which came out in 2013. Stars Brad Pitt, Miley Elnos, saying her name wrong, apologize, Daniela Cortez, Matthew Fox, L.S. Gable, Gabriel Hargrove, James Beige Dale, David Morse, Sterling Jernes, and David Andrews. Basically, again, about society, a world on the brink of collapse and crumble because of a world devastating disease, and how they come up with a cure for this disease is very interesting and intriguing. I wish they came up with a part two to finish the story off along, but you're left with a major cliffhanger at the end of this movie to to not know how the outcome ends. So still a good movie to watch. Very, very good. Keep your eyes open on the symbolism. All right. Last but not least, now this one movie was very, very underrated, and I could see why. This movie, the way they depict how societies so really truly run the core essence of things, this movie really shows it. So the movie is called Blindness, came out in 2008, stars Julianne Moore, Mark Ruffalo, Alice Braga, Don McKellar, Gail Garcia Bernard, Danny Glover, Niv Finchman, Yusuke Iwase, Yoshoni Kimura, Sandra Hoy, Mari Chechkin, and Mitchell Nye. This movie is basically about society that collapses. Everybody catches a disease, this virus, I mean. But the interesting thing about this virus, everybody goes blind. So now they have to create a whole new society while everybody's blind. And it's very intriguing on how they create the society and what is the trading commodity. Very intriguing. You will be surprised on what that is. So the disaster movies where society collapsed and a new society must come into fruition are Contagion, World War Z, and Blindness.
Lit, 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 lit. Make sure y'all tap into those movies. Yo, shout out to Tom Traveler. He in here cracking jokes, yo. Like I almost bust out laughing while you was reading the movie credits. Yeah, this dude is funny. Uh, excuse me. Uh, Sunshine. I've never seen that movie. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look that up. It says that movie. You should you should watch that movie. Sun is dying, and they send nukes to jumpstart the sun.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah, I seen that joint. That was a low budget joint, but it was actually really good. It got Cillian Murphy in there. He's a really good actor and shit.
I'm
It was pretty decent. Decent.
Bro and Jack talk about better than 8 millimeter. All right, so those are the movies, y'all. So now I'm gonna read y'all mine. I don't have a theme like my brother always have. He always have a theme. Me, I come off straight off the cuff. You know what I'm saying? I'll be freestyling, but I name movies that I feel like that don't get their just due. My first movie that is a must see is called Small Town Crime. It was directed by Ian Noms and Ian. I'm sorry, Eon Noms and Esau Noms. So these are brothers, right? It stars John Hawkes, Olivia Spencer, Robert Forster, Anthony Anderson, and Michael Vidon. This movie is about uh, a former law enforcement agent, uh, alcoholic. He's coming across a case, and he pretty much he can't shake the case. So this case is supposed to like help him like kind of get his life back together. Dope movie. Make sure y'all tap into it. Again, it's called Small Town Crimes. My next movie is called Good Company. Came out in 2002. Directed by Joel Schumacher. I didn't even realize Joel Schumacher did this movie. It stars Chris Rock, Anthony Hopkins, Garcelle Boudave. Sorry if I butchered your name, but she played Fancy on Jamie Foxx show. Kerry Washington, Michael Ealy, and Brooke Smith, and Gabrielle Mock. Gabrielle Mack. Dope ass movie. Dope movie. About uh, a CIA agent that gets murdered. He's a great CIA agent, but he happens to get murdered. His cover was blown, and what they do is they go through his records, and then they find out that you got to see the rest of the movie. Got to go see the rest of the movie. I'm not going to spoil it for you, so make sure you tap into Bad Company. Last movie I have is Hard Lessons, the George McKenna story. Came out in 1986. Directed, I missed the direction on here, my mistake. But it stars Denzel Washington, Lynn Winfield, Richard Mosner, and Ja Preston. Dope fire movie about a teacher going to a horrible school. This is based off of a true story in California. Goes to a horrible school, changes the whole school around, and how he had to do it. He had to watch the rest of the movie. So make sure y'all tap into again this movie called Hard Lessons, the George McKenna story. Also, Bad Company and Small Town Crime. So make sure y'all tap into all three of those movies ASAP. All right. Moving on to must hear albums. So these must hear albums, I have three as well. First must hear album, Beanie Siegel, The Reasons, came out in 2001. Also, second must hear album is Troy Ave, New York City album that came out in 2013. And my third must hear album is Twister, The Day After, came out in 2005. So make sure y'all tap into those three albums. All three of those albums is fire from front to back. Again, that's Twister, The Day After, Troy Ave, New York City album, and Beanie Siegel, The Reason album. So, and again, shout out to Troy Ave, free Troy Ave, free Troy Ave. All right, so moving on to classic show or must see show. All right, so you wanna go first on this one?
No, you go ahead.
All right, so my classic must see show is called All of Us. All of Us came out in 2003, 4 seasons. Very funny show. It's actually very funny, but a lot of the subject matter is really for today's society. And that show was ahead of its time when it comes to subject matter and the things that they was going on in the show. But this show stars Dwayne Martin, Lisa Ray McCoy, Elise Neal, Will Smith, Kamani Griffin, and Tony Rock. So make sure y'all tap into, check out All of Us. Is my classic show.
Nice. My classic show, definitely a classic and a must see show is called Monk. Came out in 2002. It has 8 seasons. It stars Tony Shalhoub, Trailer Howard, Ted Levine, Biddy Scram, Jason Gray Stanford, Stanley Kamel, Emroy Clark, Brooke Adams, Melra Hardin, Kane Ricochet. Sorry if I messed up your name. Sarah Silverman, and Hector Elizondo. Monk is basically about a show about a guy who's a private detective who lives in San Francisco, and he basically helps the San Francisco Police Department solve some of their toughest crimes. But the only problem is Monk is a germaphobe, so he doesn't like to be touched and all that. So it's very intriguing on how he solves all these cases and stuff like that because he's such a germaphobe and he can't be touched and he's very particular about that. So it's a great show to watch. 8 seasons. Again, came out in 2002. You probably could catch it on USA Network. That's the original network it was on. And again, fire series, definitely interesting to watch.
Make sure y'all tap into Monk. You got cologne for us?
Definitely got a cologne. You definitely want to tap into Blue Atlas, but this fragrance for this week is called Bountiful. So you want to mess with a Blue Atlas, get Bountiful. Fragrance is amazing. Great scent, great bottle, great looking bottle as well. Great brand. You won't be dissatisfied mess with Blue Atlas, and the scent again is called Bountiful.
So make sure y'all tap into Bountiful. Make sure y'all tap into Bountiful. Uh, the detective has the autism. Okay, okay. All right, so y'all know what time it is, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. It's about that time. It's time to rap. So let's get into it. All right, so this is what I was talking about earlier when I said the things that's gonna blow your mind. So this segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, where you can get classic movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. So the first subject of Time to Rap is, bro, don't you know they have the technology and now they're going, I already believe that they started doing it, but now they revealed the fact that they have the technology now to do what is called a head transplant.
Hmm.
So the head transplant is if someone is sick, they develop the technology where they remove your head, put it onto another body, to a body that's unsick and healthy, and because your brain could actually live, they say our brain could live like several hundred years, right? But how, which is which is which is crazy because our body and our organs, it doesn't, because of the things that we eat and how we go about life. But they develop technology when if they can remove the head, right, put it onto another head, align it with the spinal cord and the rest of the body functions, that it's a whole, you a whole new, you have a whole new body.
Mm.
So this is called a head transplant. But so far, the head transplant can also cause terminal cancers, paralysis, spinal cord injury, neurodegenerative diseases. But these are some of the effects if it's not done properly. What do you think that now we have developed the technology of doing head transplants?
It don't seem like it's all the way official because you still with any other procedure, new procedure, not of course they ain't gonna it's gonna be some hurdles, I guess you got hop. But to transfer a whole pause of somebody's head to a whole nother body is like, where the fuck you getting a whole nother body from? You know what I'm saying? Unless you already harvested bodies and you already got bodies lined up in the chiller freezer somewhere 18 floors down on some federal building. I mean, my bad, a regular building, my fault. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all got
Healthy.
access to hella bodies. You know what I'm saying? Pause. So you know what I'm saying? They clone Tyrone. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. And this is going to be scary because this creates a slippery slope. In the chat, they stupid in the chat. I swear to God, they're like, can I just get a few more inches? Pause. That's what they saying in the chat. Just straight funny. But yeah, this is a slippery slope because now who determines who gets the bodies? Because they released footage about 4 years ago. I don't know if I ever saw a video that they had human skins. And what I mean by human skins, they had bodies that was wrapped up in plastic and that was being preserved. You preserving the body for what? I don't know if you remember that clip that I sent you that they was transporting bodies, like how in Bad Boy 2 when they was transporting fat doughs, you know what I'm saying? But now they preserving the organs and all this, that, and the third, when supposedly I thought you had to clear that out because when the body don't stop farting when somebody dies, so they have to do the embalming stuff so the body will continue to stop. So like, make that make sense. So who gets the bodies? How do you determine who gets the body? So now someone is sick, right? So now they need a whole new body. So let's say they're able to have the technology. How is it going to determine who gets the body?
I mean, they already know who. They already have the determination of what bodies they're gonna use and who gets the bodies. The problem is because they don't view quote unquote us as human beings and cattle and chattel, all that stuff. They don't view us as human. But the crazy thing is they've been stealing our body parts for forever, stealing our teeth, stealing our skin, all types of shit. So what's changed? What, because we got a cell phone now, you think that people's uh cannibalistic behaviors have had dissipated over the centuries because they got a cell phone, they could wear a tie and they wear a suit now? Like, nah, these are the same people. They just made their cannibalistic endeavors more scientific now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we already know where they're getting the bodies from. What I'm about to say is not racist or anything like that. This is a scientific fact from their science books. Melanin is the most powerful and most abundant resource there is. So if you're gonna change, take somebody's head off a already dilapidated, already depleted body and put it into a newer, better body, which body would you choose?
Right. The
You know what
new
I'm
better.
saying? The body that's more suited for this environment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like more cannibalism, more of this animalistic behavior. Where's the rest of these doctors that was like, nah, this procedure is barbaric. We can't do this. Where are they at? You know what I'm saying? I can't, there's no way for me to make me believe that every doctor in all across America agreed that this is a great procedure and we should move forward and teach this procedure. Ain't no way in hell you want to tell me that. You know what I'm saying? Because it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make sense at all. You feel me?
And see, it takes me back to that scene in the movie John Q, where the doctor said, "Man, like everybody's telling the doctor, like, yo, don't take John Q's heart." But Denzel's character that plays John Q, he's saying, if I take my life and my son need my heart, you mean to tell me you're not going to take my heart? You're just going to let a good heart go to waste when it could go to possibly save my son. So when you talk about this in particular, this is a real slippery slope because now instead of going to somebody that's sick, right? Now who determines who gets it, right? Who determines who's going to cut the line, right? Because now you're going to trade. It's like trading hurt for hurt. Well, I'm more hurt than you. I'm more sick than you. I'm more, I'm more deserving of this body more than you. Why? Because you're older. Because you're sicker. Because you're like, what is going to be the determining factor if this hold to be true? And
Mm.
then now people, of course, you're not going to want another old body. If you're 40 years old in your head and you get transported a whole new body, you're not going to say, well, is there 40-year-old bodies that's available,
Right.
or you're going to try to get a 30 or a 20-year-old body. You,
Exactly.
You feel me? So especially if the body mass fits it, you know what I'm saying? Like obviously it's gonna look weird if you're 40 and you got a 12-year-old body, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But you get the point that I'm making. So now you have all these factors that's gonna become something that has to be answered, that has to be, created. And then it's like where y'all getting all these bodies? Because how many places in our communities that is just like a building and we don't go into that building, we don't think about that building. That building is there for something. Who's paying to keep the lights on? Ain't nothing going on in that building. You
Hmm.
should in facilities all across the United States. We're here in Florida, so every block that I drive past, it's a nights of it's a Knights Hall. I forget the particular name of this place, but it's a Knights Hall or this place right here. That's another hall. That's for these set of people, or whatever. Like who determines who gets that building and what the hell are they doing in there? It don't be no action when you pass by them buildings during the day. So who's paying the lights? Because obviously they upkeep the property, this, that, and the third. So it's like where y'all getting the bodies, where y'all storing these bodies. Now, what's the determining factor, and who's going to be the basically playing God?
Hmm.
Because that's
Facts.
what's doing in that particular instance. So now you got to come up with bullshit qualifiers to say, well, they get this body because for whatever reason, because we're talking about saving people's lives, right? So if it's about saving people's lives, first come, first serve, straight like that. Well, I've been sicker for longer, bro. And like, or I'm sicker than you. Period. Like you, even though you've been sicker longer than me, like I could die tomorrow, so I need this body. You know what I'm saying? What Shorty told the rest of them and set it off. I need this money. You know, you
Facts.
know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's going to become a slippery slope if they're able to do this. So with this type of technology, simultaneously they're going to have automated doctors that's going to do the actual procedure. So because they do it simultaneously, they're able to take that head and just put it onto the next head, and then attach it to the body
Mm.
like Mr. Potato Head. I think that's going to be very interesting. Yo, shout out to my bro Biggs in the building. Shout out to Tony Davis, Half Ass Ranch in the building. Shout out to Christine in the building. Shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Hit that like button. We appreciate it. We love, and we thank y'all for engaging on this subject. Appreciate y'all. All right. So, anything you want to add to that?
No.
All right, all right, all right. So moving on to the next subject, talking about it's like this is a perfect segue to what we were just talking about as far as uh, head transplants, because they developed the technology for it. All right, so a woman poses at first as a 13-year-old girl and then a 16-year-old girl, and made herself to be an orphan, and her backstory that she was trafficked. So so she made herself to be that way. Come to find out that her name is Shelby Hewitt, and out to be that she's 32 years old, and she actually worked for the Department of Family worked for the Department of Family Workers. She has a master's degree in school consulting, and that's how she was able to create her profile to be able to go back to the eighth grade and go back to high school and play on the team and everything and work like an after school job and get checks, but come to find out that she was 32 years old, and which was even more weirder, she was also a millionaire. She inherited $1 million from someone in her family, and she was a millionaire. So for some reason, she did this. Some reason.
Yeah, that's
Oh, shout out to Leo in the building. Shout out to my boy Leo in the building.
that sounds like I don't possibly some mental health issue, but can't really say for sure. I'm not in that field. It's just action she took is just very weird. Family members find it weird. I hope there's some resolution to that. Yeah, man, that's just very weird. You're going back to school, like elementary school, and pretending that you were like in elementary school and you're a grown adult. Yeah, that's beyond weird. That's I want to say a cry for help, but who knows? That's probably more than that. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully she gets the help she really truly needs. You know what I'm saying?
Well, she looking at some charges. She looking at some time. So her case is coming up sometime this year, and she going to have a lot of time to sit and reflect on that. But it was just so easy for her to make that profile of herself because again, she worked with the Department of Family Workers. So she has access to the books and the qualifications, and to create a backstory that she was trafficked, that she was an orphan, she didn't have no family left. Um, it's crazy, and then for her to be 32 and to go back, not even to go back to college. You see what I'm saying? She took it all the way back to like to junior high, eighth grade, and in high school. Like college is way more lit. So like, you know what I'm saying? You 32. Like you could have finessed college, but junior
Hmm.
high, high school, and you a millionaire. On top of that, she's a millionaire. So I don't understand the motivation myself. I just thought it was extremely highly weird. They did not say that if she had uh engagements with uh kids at that school sexually or anything like that, but she infiltrated and made herself a junior high school high school. Like, imagine that, bro. Imagine if we knew somebody personally that's 32 that would take themselves back to junior high and high school, and he was a dude and not a woman.
That's we better not know nobody like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's weird off rip like that. Like I said, you going to apply for a position to work in elementary school, yeah, but to like, how do you even set up? Like, who pretends to be your parent? You know what I'm saying? You can't walk in there with your own application. Like, yeah, I want to come to the school. Like, what? Nah, that's not how it works. So, who pretended to be the parent? Who pretended to be the guardian? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you
Well,
can't.
but she said she was an orphan.
Right, but you can't just, even if you're an orphan, you can't sign yourself up for school if you pretending to be in eighth grade. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
who was the adult? You
Mm-hmm.
feel me?
Mm-hmm. Do you guys have any favorite serial killers? No, I don't revere serial killers. I don't revere serial killers. Um, so yeah, and ethic and what they say ethically. Uh, I'm gonna tear the word up right now because now the word is messing me up right now. But from the morality standpoint, that's why you don't see serial killer games. You may see it in the movies, but they don't want to have it in the game. Like I don't like that. I've never seen like a Jason Voorhees movie, a Jason Voorhees video game, a Michael Myers video game, a Freddy Krueger video game. I think there might have been a Nightmare on Elm Street like way back in the day, and they realized the implication of this, and it's like, yeah, nah. But so I don't have any favorite serial killers. No, that's weird. Now I have favorite movies about fantasy serial killers, you know, uh, such as Freddy Krueger and stuff like that. But that's fantasy. That's not. Well, I wouldn't say fantasy. That's just entertainment. That's not something that is like, oh yeah, somebody gonna really burn themselves up and get claws and So yeah, nah. But hit that like button though. Hit that like button. All right, so moving on. Penn State University approves for a $700 million renovation at Beaver Stadium, at their home stadium. What do you think about that?
Yeah, these schools is getting money, man. Institutions, these organizations, everybody getting money. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't cutting no checks. Nobody ain't cutting no residual bread. Everybody keeping the dollars for themselves and then reinvesting in property that don't belong to them because you were using land that don't belong to you. You're supposed to pay tribute for land that you doing business on. You know what I'm saying? Your ancestors is not from this land. You're European by design. And it's funny enough because this is how I know y'all European, because it's so bad right now in Italy. They're calling in the Americas, like, yo, if you a third, fourth generation Italian, you could come to this part of Italy, claim your land, and you get free citizenship. Why? Because their birth rate is low. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that proves to showcase that y'all not from here. You know what I'm saying? So how you gonna turn around and say this is your land? You're Americans. You building business on here. You're taking this the equity off the backs of, let's be honest, melanated people. Because how else you was gonna get? How else was you ever gonna generate all those funds to turn around and put $700 million back into the stadium? How do you think you got that bread? You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
damn sure not from table tennis. Because ain't
Mm-hmm.
nobody going to watch no top tier table tennis play. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody going to watch top tier water polo Penn State player win the championship game. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to see that. You know what I'm saying? It's either basketball or football. And majority of the people that play basketball or football are what? Melanated people. So how you
Mm-hmm.
gonna turn around and put $700 million, but you don't put $700 million into the people that made you the $1 billion in the first place? You know what I'm saying? Beaver Stadium. I mean, personally, I've never been there from TV. It doesn't look like it needs a new stadium. You know what I'm saying?
I've been there. It's crazy.
It
It's
don't look
crazy.
like it needs, physically. I haven't been there, but I'm saying from TV. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
TV is distorted. I could be wrong. I can't see the blemishes because I'm not physically there. But for $700 million for a college stadium is absurd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Highly absurd.
yeah.
But then y'all gonna turn around and say we ain't got no money.
Hmm.
Y'all ain't got no money. Oh, okay.
It's quite interesting because 700 million. I don't think most people understand what $700 million is. Like when you hear the number, it's like okay, 700 million. Like $700 million is ridiculous, and we're not talking about $700 million in the course of years, and it's generated this and that. And it's going to contribute to everything, and this, that, and the third, and upgrades and future upgrades. They're just talking about for the football stadium.
Mm-hmm.
How much more money do the school have if they can allocate just $700 million alone for the new stadium? And let's keep it a band, just like you said. That money is going to go to the football team because it's generated the most. Basketball is cool, but it's not messing with football when it comes to this money game. Players get paid in basketball, but when it comes to generating money from the sport, football is king for a reason, especially in college. It's what is the world is on their head right now. Pause, waiting for the new college football game to come out. So for the fact that this one school could allocate $700 million for a stadium is crazy. I don't care what needs to be fixed. Y'all don't need $700 million for the field. For a dope fire field, like real talk, in this day and age, it's gonna run you about I I say about 50 mil. I say about 50 mil. 50 mil will get you a great field, state of the art field. $700 million. Now we start talking about the Dallas Cowboys type of field. Now we're talking about a SoFi Stadium type of field that with the LA Rams have. These are state of the art football fields, but obviously the NFL and college football, that's those numbers get ridiculous. So like I think I sent you footage sometime last year about the Florida program having a $70 million football house where they come to pause they their locker room, their weight room, but in that locker room and weight room they put like specialized televisions, game room, this and that over here, a practice area where they could have like meetings, and then of course the practice field. It was like a big house, and it was very expensive, very expensive. So now for Penn State to have a $700 million stadium remodeled by itself is crazy.
Facts.
That's crazy. And that makes me wonder how much money is the school really making if they could allocate 700 million for just football field. Crazy, crazy. And like you said, and it's interesting that you say that they're not paying the kids that's help. I don't want to say help. That is generating the I don't want to say help generate. They're generating. They are the product that generates the money. So there's a kid that transferred from Arizona State to Florida University for the NIL deal. With his NIL deal, he's supposed to rack in about 12, $13 million. Now he is suing Florida because he didn't get his check yet. He didn't get no money. Not one check. Not 100K, not 10 grand, not nothing.
Mm.
And he's suing school because he like, yo, I left this school to come to here because of that NIL. I'm a player for hire, bruh. Where's my money?
Mm-hmm.
So again, Florida, when people hear Florida, it's this pristine school. But why is it pristine? Because of the players that went there before. Because the players that went there before was driven on opportunity and changing your family lives. But yo, you got the chance to change your family life right now. A movie that we revere so much because it talks about college football is The Program. And what happened in the program? Who was the best player in the world in the program? Alvin Mack, the best linebacker you've ever seen on camera, tearing everybody up. Bought his mom a gold doorknob for Christmas. You're like, yo, next year when I go pro, you're gonna get the house to go with that doorknob, mom. And what happened during that season? Now, had they had NIL deals back in the day, regardless if he'd got hurt or not, he would have been able to take care of his family. The school got what they needed out of him. So, like, where's his at? You know what I'm saying? So he could take care of his family.
Right.
So these schools don't care. They don't care. So the kids is the product. They're gonna forever be the product. I'm glad they have a system where they're supposed to get their money, and I hope this young man gets his money because a part of him coming to that school was the NIL deal. Is no longer he's coming to Florida because it's Florida. He ain't. It's not like when we was in college where it's like, yo, Michigan like wants you. I'm going to Michigan. Yo, Miami wants you. I'm going to Michigan. I'm going to Oklahoma. But them same schools could be lined up to get us now, but they say, yo, Fordham want you. I ain't going no Fordham. I'm gonna go to Michigan. Yeah, but Fordham sent a contract over for an NIL deal for $15 million. I'm going to be a Fordham Ram now. See what I'm saying? It's about that paper. So they thought they was so lit that they was going to get this kid over there. He going to fall in love with Florida and all this, that, and the third. He's a Gator, but he's coming from Arizona State. Arizona State is a Power Five school. They not an upper echelon type of school, but their program is in the mix. And he was going to start. So now he transferred over here, ain't getting his money. So it just goes to your point. He got hurt. Sad. Oh, you talking about Alvin Mack? Yeah. Shout out to Biggs. You talking about Alvin Mack? He got hurt. Yup. He got hurt. He got hurt. And if he didn't get hurt, he would have been an all-time player. But this happens every year, y'all, when it comes to these college kids putting their body on the line, and the school get what they get out of them. They walk away with nothing.
All right.
They walk away with the great name, but they can't even go and buy them. You know what I'm saying? They can't even get their life together. They can't pay no bills. They can't get their own place, a car, just the basic necessities to get through life. Very sad. Very, very sad. All right, moving on to our next subject. Talking about college football. Deandra Sanders, the daughter of Deion Sanders, is having a baby with the R&B singer Jacquez, and they released on some sort of gender reveal that that she tells Jacquez that the baby's going to keep the Sanders last name. It's not going to have his last name. What do you think about
that? But that's not how it works. Doesn't matter what you say. You know what I'm saying? That's what women don't fail to realize. When you go and you be up under a man, you take on the man's last name. Because see, the problem with our people is you didn't get married. So you didn't have the ceremony of your father giving you away to your man who's gonna now take care of you. Right? So that
it?
means if you're gonna be up under that man, you must now take that man's last name. If you're not going to do that, then you go back home and stay with your family, because that's how it works. You know what I'm saying? You can't have it both ways. There's a reason why the son or the daughter takes on the father's last name, because you underneath the protection and household of the man. Now, if you keep in your maiden name, that means you're not protected. You got nobody to protect you. You take your husband's last name, You know what I mean? You get the privilege, you get everything that comes with that. Ask Shawnee O'Neal. How do you think she's able to pay for sell her book? We don't even know what her maiden name is. She been divorced to Shaq years ago. You know what I'm saying? Kept the last name. Why? Because it was strategic. It was value. It was valuable. You know what I'm saying? Now Jacques, he's not no slouch neither. He's done made music, got his name out there, made decent money in music, and not saying that his career has stopped. He could still continue, probably taking a hiatus right now. So he has his own legacy. That's why you go underneath the man to continue his legacy. The audacity of you to say that you're gonna have a child by this man, you take his DNA and you're gonna give your father, you're gonna keep your last name with his child? Are you done?
And she said a part of her reasoning of keeping the last name is because they're not getting married, or that's the situation right now. He hasn't proposed to her to get married, so
But
she
you still having his kids. So what are you talking about? You know what
right,
I'm saying?
right.
That conversation was lackluster because you still got pregnant. So obviously there was miscommunication going on. You won't give the last name. You won't give him his last name, but y'all ain't even discuss wedding, but you'll still have his kid. You cool being a baby mother, but not a wife. Oh, all right. That's what's up.
But see, like even in this situation, because like let's keep it real, most young ladies don't have a father of Deion Sanders' caliber in the sense of a man who's widely revered in the world. But there's a lot of women out here with fathers that just because their father is not widely revered in the world doesn't mean they're not widely revered in their home, in their community, where it counts. Not saying that don't count for Deion Sanders. I'm just saying making it more uh, specific just to the conversation where you don't have to be revered worldwide to gain respect from your community and your household. See what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, she's like, nah, this legacy, this saying the legacy is going to continue. And that was the bigger part of her reason from what she has said that, you're not giving me your last name, then my son is not going to get your last name. So I just thought that was very weird because just by nature, if you carrying my seed and you have my seed, it's my seed. You the carrier. So my seed is gonna have my last name. I'm not even engaging in the conversation for hyphenated. I'm not I'm not engaging in that. I'm not gonna put your last name as my child middle name either. I'm not doing that either. So the fact that she has that power to make that type of call is wild to me because my kid, I'm naming the kid first of all, so I don't even understand how this is even a conversation. So I just think that's completely weird. Like even when I had my daughter, it wasn't even a conversation of who's going to name my daughter. It wasn't even a conversation. My daughter, my mother, the daughter of my daughter's mom asked me, what names are you thinking about? That was the conversation. It wasn't so, you know, and it wasn't, she wasn't asking to give me ideas. You see, it was already understood that I'm going to be naming my child. And that's that. And I never married my daughter's mom. So, and a lot of people that I know that haven't married their children's mother name their kids and those kids have their father's last name. So, this is a new one on old Ash. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, yeah. Anything you want to add to that? I'm looking at the chat a little bit.
Nah, it's internet shit. Shit's not real. In real life, we already know what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Real niggas know what's up. Like, that's not something that real niggas have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Real men already know. When women deal with real men, dumb shit like that. It's not even a precedence, a conversation to be had. None of that shit. You know what I'm saying? They already know what's up because they're gonna fall in line. It's always these internet celebrities with these goofy, asinine fucking scenarios that don't add up in real life. Ain't no way in hell you gonna have my child that you couldn't have without my seed in the first place, and you gonna turn around and put your name on my child. It's not your child. Yes, you gave birth to the child because the child was being born inside of you. But guess what? We know it's your child because it came outside of you. But the only way to find out who the father is, you have to go take the blood from the child. So whose child it is, it really is. Because it doesn't have your blood, it has my blood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, these are more goofy uh talking points that these celebrities that are paid to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Because come on, if your father is Deion Sanders, you think he ain't school his shorty to let his daughter to let him know, like, hey, the man that you gonna be with, that's the name the son is or daughter is gonna take on. You didn't think the father had that conversation with her? You didn't think
Mm-hmm.
the father be like, yo, you get married first. You embarrass the whole family. You going backwards. And then on top of it, you're gonna be like, oh, the son's gonna have or the daughter's gonna have my last name. Like, okay. Nigga, just go make another child. What are you talking about?
And I get the fact that this is going to be the first chicks, so they're going to have plenty of opportunities to bring grandchildren into the building that's going to carry that Sanders last name. If you don't if you don't put Sanders on your child's name, but is he not going to be the grandson of Deion Sanders no more? He's still going to be known as the grandson of Deion Sanders because he's the most known out that bunch. Even if his last name is Jacquay, I don't know Jacquay's last name, but if Jacquay gives his child his last name, he's still going to be Deion Sanders' grandson, right or wrong.
It's just women's dumb. Like women are illogical. Like it's just y'all got all these degrees and y'all still plumb dumb. Like what's the point of having all these degrees then if we still having these goofy ass conversations? Men are not bringing these conversations up. It's these women that's bringing these conversations up. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's stupid. What are you talking about? Why would I marry you if I'm getting everything for free? Like what? You giving me pussy, you giving me a child. So why would I marry you? You know what I'm saying? Why people got married back in the day was to get pussy and have children. Because bitches was not giving it up if you wasn't getting married. Now bitches is giving up. Why would I get married? I'm not taking nothing from somebody that's willingly giving it to me. You know what I'm saying? So
Or
what else do I really need to do?
you're not going to pay the premium if they willingly giving it to you.
Right. What I'm saying is the point is you're giving it up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're willingly giving it up for a dinner date, a blunt, some Henny, a hookah, a trip to Miami. You know what I'm saying? All but a damn ring.
What you said, a chicken dinner?
A chicken dinner, Kronfraud meal. You know what I'm saying? A bus pass ticket to Atlantic City. A flight to, you know what I'm saying, to West Herkimer, fucking Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? So we could be in the Raw Dog Inn. You know what I'm saying?
The hot dog water in, the raw dog in.
Come on, 75 a night, baby. You heard? So what are we talking about here? Y'all women set the precedence. Y'all lowered the bar. We just act accordingly. Oh, we don't gotta marry her no more? I bet. We don't gotta do this no more? Bet. I don't gotta pick your dirty ass handkerchief when you drop it on the floor no more? Cool. Y'all set it up.
I don't gotta take my coat off and put it over the puddle so you can walk over.
The dumbest shit I ever saw in my life. Why would I fuck up my coat when you could just walk over on the puddle? Fuck I look like?
Yo.
That's the dumbest shit. I remember watching that shit. Like, why would a man fuck his coat up so a bitch could walk over the puddle on my coat when we could just walk around the puddle? And I still got my coat on my back.
And she got heels on. You got heels on.
What are we talking about? What type of silly ass shit is that, son? Fuck out of here, son. That whole happy wife, happy life is dead. That shit died 20 years ago. So y'all women better step it up because we not fucking with that playing those games no more. You know what I'm saying?
I just thought that was just grossly interesting. That whole situation because like I said, in that situation, it wasn't even a conversation on who's going to name my daughter. You know, she just asked me what was you thinking because her family wanted to know what I was going to name my daughter. That's all they wanted to know. What are you going to name her? You know what I'm saying? Because they was excited. They wasn't trying to say, well, you should name her this or you should name her that. No, and mind you, I had my daughter as a teenager. So as a teenager, you know what I'm saying, people knew not to cross the line on that. So I
Mhm.
just thought that was very interesting. She has very strong feelings about it. Obviously, she has the protection of her dad, her brothers as well. That's going to obviously enforce that decision. If that happens to be the decision, I think that's very unfortunate for Jaquez. Um, you know, it, I just that's to me any man is going to want his child to count. So I just think that's an interesting situation. All right, so I seen this on the internet, but this is what really happened. A woman knocks down the mom of her boyfriend for disrespecting her. The boyfriend is at work, and the mom and the daughter gets into it. As her boyfriend, what are you doing next?
Wait, so my girl and my mom got into it?
Yeah.
First of all, that would never happen. Off rip. My girl
Mhm.
and my mom never would get into a, disrespectful shouting match with each other. That shit's never happening. First of all, that woman gave birth to me, so you gonna respect her. That's off rip. You know what I'm saying? And as a woman, you should respect an older woman. What are we talking about here?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
grew up in culture and principles, so that shit would never happen with me. You know what I'm saying? Never had and never will, because the culture that I grew up in, yeah, I'm not disrespecting my mother by bringing some chick that feels that she can talk to elder women however they feel like it. Your
Mhm.
elders, your peers. You know what I'm saying? But how I grew up is you see somebody else's mother, she had the right to discipline you. You know what I'm saying? If you went to
Mhm.
somebody's house, they had the right to
Yeah.
discipline you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Facts.
You
Facts.
would you if you was a kid, would you go to your mom's best friend house and violate? Hell no, because you already know what the principles is. So that scenario is just showing niggas ain't on code. I don't know what's going with these type of certain niggas, but the rest of us niggas have our shit situated where that shit would not happen. You know what I'm saying? Maybe our
I,
BMs might clash with our new girl, fine. But my mother, nah, that's not
I
happening.
I've had situations where I had exes argue with my mom for something that my mom was out of pocket for, but that's all it was. It was they had to get that out. It was never obviously it wasn't no fight because now if you put hands on my mom's this girl that's what the girl did. She put hands on this guy's mother. You put hands on my mom's. You know what I'm saying? The one particular girl that had an argument with my mother was dead wrong. She was dead wrong, out of pocket, and it really wasn't necessarily an argument. The girl posed a question to my mom and was like, "Yo, I just tell y'all because I don't want to make this seem weird. So nah, I can't tell because it involves it's family business. It's family business, but I would say that they had um I don't even want to say it's an argument. It wasn't even an argument now that I think about it. But my mom had said something that was very out of pocket. It was in front of someone else, and she posed a question to her, but the things that she was saying to my mom, because she was crying when she was saying it, she was saying it because she was hurt that my mom said it. So I don't view that as like a shouting match, because it wasn't a shouting match. Now that I think about it, and then I've had a girl that her and my mom, the energy wasn't right, but they never had any words, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like they never had like a back and forth that was unpleasant or wasn't nice, but they not gonna be close for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had that interaction before. So, but again, I view that differently. I don't think every spouse or every person that you get with is not necessarily gonna get along with your mom and your dad, but they have to understand your mom and your dad. As long as they have breath in their lungs, they not going nowhere. They still gonna be mom and dad. You only get one. I can replace you at the end of the day. So you know, because to me, like and disrespect is two different things. How many people out there that you didn't like but you didn't disrespect?
What was the question?
Oh yeah, it froze up a little bit. I said, what? How many times have you had a situation where you didn't necessarily like somebody, but you didn't disrespect them either?
That was plenty of times.
Right. So that's how I look at that as well too. You know what I'm saying? So it looked like you had something.
No.
Yeah. So I just thought that was interesting because the girl had put hands on the mother. The girl's laying down. She got the towel over her face. The girl is filming it, and now she's calling the boyfriend. Because now the mother's saying, "Yo, call." I forget the name that she said, but for the story's sake, she's like, "Call Tony, call Tony." She's like, "I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna tell him what you did. You was disrespecting me." So that's still mom. That's still dad. Chill out. You know what I'm saying? Chill out. If they disrespect you, you come to me. I deal with my parent. That's how that works. Because I can't even think of anybody that I was with that my parents disrespected for real. Just came out just blatantly disrespecting. I've never been with nobody that they did that to. They may have checked some folks, but checking somebody and disrespecting somebody is two different things in my book.
Right.
And they still mom and dad. Like, even if they wrong, they right. Even when they wrong, they could still be wrong. Even when they wrong. Y'all get what I'm saying? It's just a respect thing. It's just a respect thing. Christine, shout out to Christine in the building. Hit that like button. Don't beat yourself up about chicken. Okay, y'all got some. No, okay. Ladies, stop being ratchet. That is a fact. Ladies, stop being ratchet. Terry Crews came first. Not even culture. No, just let real men be men. All right, so moving on to our next topic. Uh, mom, there's a mother that shows up to her son's kindergarten graduation in short booty shorts, a short booty shorts, jean short booty shorts, and a cut off tank top. And her son is in his cap and gown.
What is he graduating first grade or something?
Kindergarten.
Typical. It's just typical. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit been going on for damn near a decade. Y'all still don't know how to dress for functions like this. Like you don't understand that stepping outside the house, you are an exact image of everybody else that people know. So if you step out the side of the house like a thought, your family members gonna hear about it. They're the ones that are gonna be embarrassed about it, even if you're not. It's like, what do you? How does that? How is that appropriate coming to your son's graduation, dressing how you dress? Yes, I understand you have your freedom to do however you want, but that doesn't mean just because you have the freedom to be butt naked and walk outside, does that mean that you should do it? You know what I'm saying? It's like dress appropriately. Like, come on, son. Like, let's be serious. Like, this is ridiculous now. It's like you women, y'all taking this shit way too far. Like, yes, you have certain privileges. Yes, cool. But as soon as men don't want to fucking fuck with feminism, that shit's all dead. Cause what you gonna do when a nigga says no? You can't make him do nothing. All you could do is get another man to make him do something. And what if that man says no? Then you cooked. You got no power. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have any power. But you're out here walking like y'all got all the power in the world. All right. This is disgusting behavior, as always. Like women just like what happened to where's y'all fits at? You know what I'm saying? Y'all talking about y'all got all this money, but y'all wear whole shit. Y'all opening mad businesses. Y'all got all these degrees. Y'all getting money, right? So where's y'all fits at? You don't got a graduation fit? That's insane. That's sad.
How do you think the son would feel in that in that
Oh, it's all
situation?
types of embarrassment, son. You already know other niggas is coming at buddy hard bodies. And then we grew up, we didn't have social media. So when we grew up, when niggas roasted you, it was good for 2 days,
Mhm.
3 days max. After 3 days, niggas done forgot about it. Something else done happened. Like,
Yeah,
these got caught, beat up at the water. You know what I'm saying? The found
yeah.
by the water
So,
found. So that's the new shit now. You know what I'm saying? But with
uh,
social media now, the shit is there forever. So even if they finish roasting you about a week later, they could come back and re-roast you because the shit just reappeared again.
yeah,
So the shit never goes away. So it's like y'all screaming so hard for attention, but I never ever been in a world where attention pay bills. If attention paid bills, y'all bitches would be billionaires.
that if that shit was a currency, right? If that shit was a currency, they trying
And
to
the
make
only
it.
way, and the funny thing is like the only way you would get paid is by us paying y'all, by looking. Because you're not doing it for yourself. As much as you want to say that, because if it's for yourself, it'll never be on social media. You will never step out the house dressed like that. You just you would look yourself in the mirror, tell yourself, I'm that bitch, cool, change your fits, and then go outside. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. I think that the son is probably experiencing his first embarrassment, like for real, for that real first embarrassment. And ladies, y'all gotta know something. For a son, for a young man, one of the most embarrassing things you can do is to dress out of pocket in his presence.
Women don't give a fuck. It's all about their happiness. They don't give no fuck. They don't have no logic itself. It's all about their happiness. It's all about how they feel. This one time. Oh, you feel good in this outfit, even though it's an embarrassment to your son. He's never gonna have the self-esteem he needs to be an upstanding citizen as he goes older. Whose fault is that? Oh, it's because, but it's all about your happiness, though, right? All right. You raising the son that you are having issues with when you're out there dating. The son
Hmm.
husbands.
Hmm.
How you think they got there? By be severely being emasculated at young ages by doing whole shit like you doing right now. Y'all know what y'all doing. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. A woman can't tell me she doesn't know what she's doing, especially when you're 18 and grown. I don't want to hear none of that bullshit. I'm young. You're 18 and grown. You're old enough to go out and vote. You're old enough to pick up a rifle, join the army, and shoot a motherfucker. Then you old enough to make conscious decisions. You know what I'm saying? This bullshit, I was young and I ain't know better. I don't want to hear none of that goofy shit. You young when you 17, 18, okay. 21, by 21, that's it. You're an adult. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Consequences and all that. You're an
Hmm.
adult. So act accordingly, take the consequences when you make a mistake, and that's it. Say I'm sorry, keep it moving.
And we talked about this on a previous show where, um, like I was getting my lineup, and a mother comes in there. Her son was no older than probably like 13, and she had these shorts on that just all that cake was out. Just and obviously when you go to a barbershop, it's all men. Ain't no women in there. Ain't no women in the back braiding hair. Nothing. It's just all dudes in there waiting to get their hair cut. So she's in the barbershop, cakes, all the cakes was looking crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you, they was just looking crazy. But you with your son, he just wanna come in here and get a haircut. Ain't nothing but grown ass men in here. Ain't nothing but grown men in here waiting to get their cut. So as every time she like instead of sitting down and talking to the barber, which she could have, she gets up. Yeah, I want him to have this and I want him to have that. So that way she go walk up. We can see what's going on. And then when she go to the barber chair, now she gotta walk back from the barber chair to sit that thing down. She want to get up, go use her phone outside. Then the cakes, so them cakes is being on display is the point that I'm making. And the son just trying to get a haircut. The embarrassment that carries, because he even as a young boy, he has to understand and realize, like, damn, my mom is dressing like how she would dress in the house, but it's for all these grown men to just like salivate. And kids at that age, it takes a long time for a son to look at his mother as a woman. I don't think we ever really look at our mother as a woman until we get children of our own, to be honest with you. But it takes a long time for a son to look at his mother not only as his mother, but as a woman. That she's actually sexually appealing to other men. When we look at our mother, it's like that's mom. Like the fuck, like stop looking at my mom. Like, you know what I'm saying? But she's physically attractive to other men. So for her to be on display like that, for him to be 13 and then going back to the topic where this kid is experiencing this for the first time in kindergarten, where his mom pulls up to the damn graduation with the low cut jean tight shorts, and the cakes is out on full display because she had like the underbutt, if that makes sense. Like, you know how the butt is just
Mhm.
all like under the shorts or whatever, and a cut off tank top. So now she got the belly showing or whatever. It was flat, but you know what I'm saying? I can see your belly, boo. Like, you got the belly out. You basically got a bra on. So I just thought that was interesting in itself, and supremely embarrassing for that young man. Because any kid in that situation would be.
Facts. That's a
So
fact.
yeah. You was about to say?
No, I said that's a fact.
Yeah. I just wonder what happens to decency, because I see it all the time when I go into whether I'm going to. It's mainly when I go to Walmart. I go to Walmart, I'm bound to see a mother in there with some kids, and she got the cakes already out. Mind you, she already got 2, 3 kids and got the cakes all out. I never see that in Publix though. Publix, I guess because of the environment is different. People cover up in Publix, but it's so embarrassing, and the lack of decency, and like you said, because we have social media, this shit is there forever. It's there forever. So I just think that's completely horrible, and I feel bad for that young man to have to go through that in this new day and age. I don't even know how I would react, bro, if my mother was to show up like that at my graduation, even as a kid in kindergarten. I wouldn't know how I would act. I wouldn't know how to act if my mother is a female rapper and I'm 12, 13 years old, and my mother's on Instagram popping that ass, talking about, that she got the best pussy and licking pussy and getting her butt ate and this, that, and the third. I wouldn't even know how I could even go to school with that image just out there of my mom.
Hmm.
Crazy. Crazy work. Crazy work. All right, so now we moving on to our next segment. This segment is brought to you by Bravo Section. Make sure you go to Big Bravo Section.
Petty thoughts is on pause right now till I come back from New York on vacation.
Okay, okay. So moving on to the next segment, Keep the Lie Alive segment.
Keep the lie alive.
Keep the lie alive. So my keep the lie alive segment of this show, I think I want to stress this point. Decency, y'all. Decency. We need to get back to having decency. Decency doesn't mean you can't do something. It's just having decency and understanding your audience when and when not to do something. Case in point, wear booty shorts with the cakes all cracked out with your kids around you anywhere public. You can wear basically damn near anything you want in your house, but it would be nice to cover up around your children. But when you put yourself in the public eye, that's not decency. Talking crazy, being very ratchet in public, and it's not the environment where you could do that, it's indecent. We need to bring back decency, yo. Decency goes a long way. People look at you when you carry yourself with a particular type of decency. Even if you're running to the store, nobody's telling you to get a runway ready, but damn, have some decency in what you have on. How many times have I countlessly went to the store and seen women again in these cut off tank tops, no bra, titties looking all kind of wonderful, but it's not decent. It's not the time and place to be in Walmart, to be in Target with that shit on. Cover up. Where's the decency? So there's a time and place for everything. How you talk to people, decency, the lack of learning how to deal with situations, aesthetic. I dealt with somebody one time, and every time they went to work, they look absolutely garbage, just straight bummy, wrinkled, and had the nerve to be like, "Yo, why do people at my job don't respect me? Because you don't present yourself with no type of decency." What do you mean by that? When you go to work, you're supposed to be presentable. You walk out here super wrinkled. But it's clean though, but it's wrinkled though. But I'm not getting myself. I don't want to look good to appeal to some other guy or whatever the case may be. I said, well, that's on you. Because no matter how you dress, you're gonna get off a dick. And then even when you dress nice, even if you get off a dick, you have the knowledge and the mind withal to say no. So to say that you're not getting dressed up just because you want to deter your other men away is a horrible excuse. You don't look decent enough to gain the respect of the other professionals. You worried about other shit that have nothing to do about being professional. Part about being professional is looking the part, having the decency to be treated with respect. So, decency. I don't want to be long winded about it, but decency.
Facts.
Anything to add to that?
Also, self-respect too, because if you respect yourself, you come out the house acting like you respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, how you expect me to respect you? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I do that if you don't even respect yourself? I'll be foolish. I'd look crazy if I gave you respect, but you don't even respect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
self-respect.
So make sure y'all understand what that word decency mean and exercise it, yo, because you had touched on this earlier. People get into the zone where they be like, well, I'm grown. All right, so if you grown, have your grown ass learn some decency. Just because you grown doesn't mean you like people don't realize when you don't move correctly and you say you grown, it makes you look like you're not grown when you do shit that's out of pocket. So when you say that you grown, you're just saying something that don't make sense because you're showing the energy that you're really not grown at the end of the day.
Mhm.
So people get caught up in saying that, like, yo, if somebody's trying to teach them something, like, yo, don't talk to me like that. I'm grown. but you're not looking decent. You're not acting decent. You having no decency. So how can you be grown? You can't even take criticism or critique that's going to benefit you. Decency. Can't make this up. Can't make this up. Uh, Shout out to Trey in the building. Make sure you hit that like button. Hit that like button. Uh, yeah. Last thing though. Last thing. This P Diddy thing is getting even crazier, right? So because of the public fallout is Diddy's the bad guy. He's the bad guy. He's the bad guy. And you have other people speaking up about it, obviously. But a lot of people that I'm noticing speaking up about it are men who've had history of domestic violence themselves. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and that's kind of weird because, like, what Diddy did was horrible, right? But at the end of the day, you got men that's really like, yo, Diddy a bitch and this, that, and the third. Okay, cool. It's cool for you to feel that way. Like what he was doing, that was egregious, right? Cool. I agree with that wholeheartedly. But you saying that, but didn't you just have a whole situation slapping around a chick, suplexing a chick, leg dropping a chick? You hitting her with the rock bottom? Don't we see? Didn't we see that on tape? Didn't this chick come out and sue you because you had this going on and that going on? So I'm noticing a lot of guys in media or just having a platform to speak, they have history of suplexing women.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just like a weird dynamic that they're speaking about this in particular. And again, timing is everything, but you want to polish so people forget about your stuff. So I just thought that was very interesting. Your computer froze real quick. Now, so I just thought that was very interesting.
Nobody in the industry is clean, so that's why it's like that's why they can't get nobody to speak against Diddy or for Diddy because everybody dirty. You know what I'm saying? Nobody clean. You
Mm-hmm.
can't be in the industry and be clean. How you
Mm-hmm.
gonna be in a room where everybody's a fucking vulture, but you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my brother computer froze. Yeah, until he unfreezes. Yeah, it's just a weird situation when you see all these people in the industry just speaking about it, and they have a serious history of that, of doing what Diddy did, that was shown on camera with Cassie. So
Yo,
yo,
yeah,
yeah,
action was real choppy.
yeah. So now go ahead, continue what you was going on. I didn't move forward.
What was the last thing I said?
About Diddy, about everybody's not clean.
Yeah, nobody in the industry is clean. If y'all don't realize that by now, it's like that's why they keep playing these games with y'all to realize that y'all still slow. Y'all don't understand what's really going on. The shit is way worse than Diddy. If you think Diddy shit that he's doing is some horrible and is you're gasping for air and you can't sit properly and you're just ashamed, you have no idea. Like Dave Chappelle said, you got a brittle spirit because you have no idea what these people did to get to the level that they at. You know what I'm saying? No idea. If you really tiptoeing and you really shocked at what Diddy is doing, you have no idea what these other people are doing that have you have no idea who they are. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? These are all tests to see where the audience is at. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody in the industry is not clean. Everybody in the industry is not a good person. Like let's be for real out here. You know what I'm saying? They get paid to lie to you all day, every day. They get paid to be a character, an image, a persona. So you never know who these people are. So why would you believe in liars all day? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't make sense. Just like they showing you, like how can a person come up and speak for or against another person on an issue that they also dealing with
Mm-hmm.
and trying to denounce the other person? Not
Mm-hmm.
shit like, yeah, I've done it too. We need to come together and get a solution, not undermining and be like, yeah, what he did was wrong, but yet you doing the same thing too. How?
Right. Right. It's like, which one is it, bro?
But you see
Which
what I'm
one is
saying? It was one of them situations where it was popping the tape last night, or you don't want to
Mhm.
go out there and talk against Diddy or for Diddy, popping the tape, show him what he did last week. You forgot,
Mhm.
right? Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got it right here. You did that. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
you, right?
that's you.
Yeah. And then he's like,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm gonna go in the morning.
Mhm.
Yeah, all right, we figured you would. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That simple. And that's why they went to Diddy's crib, not to arrest him. It's been 2 months they went to the nigga crib. He still ain't got no arrest warrant. They went to the crib to get the fucking videos, which they didn't find.
Mhm.
So, you know what I'm saying? I want to know how many videos they got.
They supposedly some of the other videos have other uh high ranking celebrities in some very compromising positions.
They've been doing
Suppo-
it for forever. This is the oldest trick in the book. You get somebody who they call it mice. It's M is for bunny, I is for yeah, I think it's M is for money, C is for coercion, E is for ego, I is I forget what it is, but it's the CIA equivalent of how they use to break somebody down. Money is always going to be the easiest one, first and foremost. You want money? All right, what's your number? Name your price. Whatever that price is, person is gonna go left or go right, depending on if you hit that number in. I believe what the fuck is I gotta look it up again. C is coercion, where they coerce you or put you in a compromising position, and ego is what can we do to stroke your ego? Do you need a statue of yourself? Do you need your plaque or your name on the wall? Whatever we gotta do to get you to do what we need you to do, we're gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, it's always money. Sometimes people are motivated by other reasons. Sometimes they got pop in the tape and show you what you did last night. You know what I'm saying? You go to these parties,
Mhm.
you drinking GHB and all these other drugs, you wake up, your asshole hurting, your mouth, you don't know what the fuck you done did. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of trauma.
A lot of trauma, a lot of body trauma. You know what I'm saying? They separate your mind, your consciousness from your body so they could violate you. But when you come back to, you got to deal with all that trauma, even if you don't know you was there or not. You know what I'm saying? So it's fucked up. But this whole Diddy situation, I feel, is another experiment as far as seeing where the populace is at with certain things. Because I really believe that they at the point where they just want to be themselves and really live how they want to live. But because the society is not there yet, because a lot of motherfuckers are gonna judge you and look you the other way. So they gotta put these little tests out there to see where the populace is at. You know what I'm saying? So the mere
Mhm.
fact that they have spokespersons speaking against or for Diddy that already have domestic violence issues and nobody's bringing it up and nobody
Mhm.
put two and two together just showcases like, yeah, they ain't ready. You know what I'm saying? That's an easy thing to put together. That's like saying
Yeah.
that's like saying what you call you want alcoholic to come to speak to you to your fucking meeting even though the nigga's still drinking.
Right. Alcohol Anonymous to for
Yeah,
people that's trying to.
you gotta follow the steps.
Yeah.
But the man up on the podium drunk.
Yeah.
Talking about follow the steps. Bro, you ain't even
Yeah.
following. So why would I do it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah. It this is like a very like weird situation because this is not the first time this have happened, and nobody's excusing Diddy for this shit, right? Because like you seeing these dudes even add adages, right? Like one thing that I'm realizing because it's not funny, but when dudes say it, they adding on adages, in my opinion. So when they say, "Yeah, Diddy, you didn't have to kick it like you kicking a field goal." So when you say kicking it like a field goal, now you trying to be funny because it's funny. It's funny. It's not domestic violence is not funny, but you're saying in a way now where it's a jokey matter instead of just saying, "Yo, he kicked her in the face and that's horrible." You saying you kicking like you kicking a field goal. What's the purpose of using that type of wording if you're not trying to be funny?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're saying it sincerely. You can't say, "Well, he kicked it like he kicking a field goal," and you can't be sincere with that statement. You're trying to be funny. You see what I'm saying? Instead of just speaking what the facts is. The fact is he kicked her and he kicked her very hard. But when you say he kicked it like a field goal, he kicked it like he kicking a soccer into the ocean, like just different things that I heard, like trying to be funny because it actually is funny, just the thought of it, but it's not funny because of the thought of it, if that makes sense. You see what I'm saying? Because that's a very serious matter. Nobody wants their child, wants their daughter, wants their woman, a woman that's in this circle or even not in this circle to be in that situation. But now when you're saying it in a jokey manner, you're being very insincere. And then on top of it, you're the people that are talking the most is the people that have the history. That's like Marv Albert coming out and and getting mad at Ernie Johnson for getting in trouble. Not saying that he's in trouble, but let's say if Ernie Johnson get in trouble, like yo, the audacity for you to be abusing women, bro. Like, yo, bro, you Marv Albert. Like you went to jail for biting off nipples, bro, and tying chicks up. And again, when I say biting off nipples, I'm saying that because that's an actual fact. I'm not saying you going to jail because you biting off nipples like you eating a damn pizza. You know what I'm saying? Because now if I say it like that, I'm trying to be funny. But I'm saying the actual thing. And then on top of that, you talking and you went to jail for abusing women. So the dudes that have a history of this don't need to be talking. Don't need to be talking. And the men that should be talking is the men that don't have the history of this, and the men that, because all men do grow up. So if you have a history of doing something and you realize it was wrong, then cool. That's called growth. But you should not be the spokesperson, my G. Should not be the spokesperson. We seen that in New Jack City. They put Pookie back into the damn house, and what the Appleton said, like, yo, bro, I don't think he should go in there. He's not gonna be ready in a room full of crack. He's not. You not qualified to be speaking on it. Even if you had an epiphany and a growth, be like, yo, it's not right to do this or to do that or to react like this and react like that. You should not be the one speaking. And that lets me know when other people is not speaking because they have their own dirt in the closet and they not, they can't advocate for that. Even if they don't think it's right, you can't advocate for something that you do or have a history of doing. Somebody say, "Oh, well, it was one time." Okay, I get that. I understand it, but it's still in the same breath. You should not be talking, bro. You not the one, bro. You not the one. Should not be talking. So I just found that very interesting regarding the whole P Diddy situation. So whatever his karma is, he's going to get that in full blast. Nobody's excusing what he's done. But I just found it very interesting that most of the people that are speaking has a history of abusing women their own self. So yeah,
Right.
that part. All right, y'all. So you already know what time it is. It's that time, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's been amazing as usual for episode 58. Make sure you back on Sunday for episode 59. We're back at 10:30. Again, every Thursday and Sunday at 10:30. So make sure y'all tap in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell another friend to check us out. You know what I'm saying? We worth the watch, entertaining, and we give y'all hardcore facts and also our input on things as well too. I have a ball with y'all every Thursday and every Sunday night. Shout out to the sponsors of our show, Bravo Section, Button Snaps, OUV Records. If you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, tap into my Instagram at Ashley Lovechild. on my brother Instagram at
Bravo Section _.
So if you're serious, tap in, and we could do some promotions for you, and you could be one of the sponsors of the show as well. Also, make sure y'all check out the new podcast, Overstand Podcast, every Monday at 9:30 live. Make sure y'all check that out as well. And we'll be back. Episode 59, Sunday, 10:30. So you already know.
We out of here, y'all.
All love. We'll see y'all next time. Sunday, 10:30. Don't be late. We out of here.